Bash in Berlin today. Um, so this is going to be a wild little show, first off, because of all the things that are happening. One, 5 matches, which is actually a pretty solid card when you look at it. This is one of the better cards that we've seen in quite some time for like a short pay-per-view. Also, Germany getting the pay-per-view should be very fun. We haven't seen anything like this in quite some time, and I know that the international circuit has been wild since 2022, but this is a little bit of a different feel. Kind of like the return, kind of like a really different kind of vibe that we're about to get from like places like France and London and Australia, and this should be fun. I really think that this should be a fun pay-per-view, a fun card. Let's just jump right into the predictions. First off, women's tag team titles. Black Excellence, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, versus the reigning champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union. Without Bianca and Jade, this match doesn't end up on the card at all. Now, I know people are going to be upset that they didn't get a SummerSlam match or anything in particular, and they only get a match on Bash in Berlin. But hey, they're getting a match. They're getting the women's tag title spotlight that it hasn't seen since the beginning of the tag titles in 2019. So this is absolutely insane, once again, that the women's tag titles are going to be on the pay-per-view card, even without like a real definitive story. Do I think that Jade and Bianca win? However, I do not. I think that there's going to be a turn in some capacity from either Jade or Bianca, and the women's tag titles will be retained by the Unholy Union. Let's just jump into match number 2. The strap match, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. One of the most personal blood feuds we've seen in quite some time. And my thought is this match is going to be physical, but they should have not done the red light, green light, corner touch stuff. They should just whip the shit out of each other. There should be blood. There should be a lot of just pure physicality, but this is going to be one of those time periods where it's going to be one of those times where it isn't no physicality. And you know what? I think they're going to find a way to work around it, to make it a physical match, to make it a brutal match. The crowd is still going to be behind it regardless. I think CM Punk gets his win back from SummerSlam. No controversy this time. CM Punk will beat Drew McIntyre to make one more match. That's my alarm. To make one more match at Bad Blood, which will be Hell in a Cell. Match number 3. Terror Twins versus the Judgment Day's Dominic and Liv Morgan. Obviously, there's going to be a split at some point where Priest is going to feud with Balor, and Rhea and Liv are going to have a match at Bad Blood, which is very obvious, and I think that match should be Hell in a Cell. Now, to say who wins this match is honestly a bit of a toss-up. You got Dom going for the Intercontinental Championship, and Liv, who is the Women's Champion. You also have Rhea fucking Ripley and Damian fucking Priest. 2 people who were just the most dominant champions at one point in time, and are going to get main event spotlights for the next several months or so. So do I think a loss would hinder their momentum? No. I think a loss wouldn't do too much to their psyche. In fact, it would fuel them a bit more, and also give Liv and Dominic some sort of confidence, because these 2 heels are perhaps maybe the best heel generated, or the best magnetic generated heels we've seen in quite some time, and also are really super over. So I think that Dom and Liv are going to win this tag team match. To number 4, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, which is now the WWE Championship, but who really cares? Cody's retaining. I think that's the obvious one, because of course Kevin Owens isn't going to win, but we all know that this is going to be a fun match, and the story narrative of Kevin Owens turning his back on anyone and everyone that he's befriended over the years. That's going to be a huge little, a huge story plot within this entire match. I think that Cody is going to headline another pay-per-view again. Who knows if it's going to be against Solo, or who knows if it's going to be against Roman. But Cody is going to head into the next pay-per-view as champion, and there's going to be a major story arc within featuring the Bloodline once again, because of course Cody can't escape the Bloodline vortex. And finally, Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther, who has tied his knots within the German wrestling scene when he was young, exploring the UK, and he is back in home. He's back on home soil in a sense, versus a man who is looking for his 15th World Championship. These two had a banger at King and Queen of the Ring. They're going to have another one. This should be like the best match on the card by far. This should be the most hot match on the card by far. But I do think that Gunther does retain his World Championship due to something. I don't know what it will be, but it will be from something. I don't know what it will be. It's not going to be a clean victory. I can guarantee you that. So those are my predictions. That is it for my take on everything. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I will see you all soon. Peace and love to all y'all people.